I'm Andrea Perrella. I'm an associate professor in political science at Wilfrid Laurier University, and I'm also the director of the Laurier Institute for the Study of Public Opinion and Policy. Young people don't vote as much as older people for a variety of reasons. Let's start with the most obvious ones. Young people today, more than ever, are more mobile. They leave home to go to school at a different city, sometimes a different province. And they don't have a lot of ties to their newly adopted home because it's also a temporary home. When they graduate, they move again to another city for a job, and then they move again for another job. So this mobility is difficult to nurture some ties to an area, and it's with those ties that they develop that enables them to understand and learn about the local political scene, the local candidates. So since they don't know who the local candidates are or don't know them as well, they're less likely to be engaged by them. Now that's one reason. There are other reasons. Young people today have a much more negative view of politics than older generations. Actually, everybody has a more negative view of politics today. And when you have that experience at home, when parents don't talk positively about their leaders, about the political system, about voting, it tends to impart a negative view on their children. So children don't look at voting as an exciting exercise in democracy. They may be a little more cynical, and that disengages them. Even further, and this we're seeing across the world, people are less and less likely to identify with the political party. There used to be a time when voters typically consistently voted for the same party or the same group of parties. And those ties are now eroding across the world. And so voters are less likely to be mobilized in an election, and especially young voters. So you're seeing all these factors conspiring to disenfranchise the youth vote. There is another factor. Older voters believe, have a greater sense of duty when it comes to an election. During an election, they see this as an obligation for them to exercise their right to vote. And this goes back to a previous time when there was more expectations from people to get engaged in their community and to practice and exercise and express a degree of duty to their fellow citizen. Over the years, we've seen a lot less of that attitude developed, and people are less and less likely to feel a sense of duty to their community, to their politicians, to their state. And so we're seeing a lot less of a sense of guilt for not voting.